Broken blade. Oh, a chest. All the blades are broken. Ooh, an elephant chest. Oh yeah, she said her dad carved her a
The box was
box.
carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's.
Ooh.
The box was one of the few things my father left me. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's.
Yeah, you did say that. Alright, we'll put that back for now. Never had a lid. Hi, Kai. No, yeah, that's fair. I had lunch before. No, I thought you meant broken blade. Must
It
eat.
was a photograph of my father, the first one I ever took, with the first camera he ever bought me.
With your fingers in the way. Classic.
You have no messages.
Bit of music. Oh, she listens to classical. Oh no. Pop music.
Stay with me, don't leave me where you going. I can't be left alone out of my own hair. I think I know exactly what you're thinking, cause I think I feel the same way too. Take my hand and let's do it my walking.
Alright, so apparently we're just waiting for George to rock up.
Let's go to
My first teddy. Never had a boyfriend as loyal as him.
Teddies. Teddy bear.
Mademoiselle Collard.
Oh, hello there. Don't tell
Sounds
me.
like Jay putting on a
I'm going to
voice.
meet a tall, dark man.
No, I don't think so. Why would you say that?
Oh, just a wild guess.
Anyway, your cousin's female and very pretty.
What?
Your cousin from Marseille. How could you forget her so soon? She was only in your apartment yesterday.
Ah, really?
Such a charming young girl.
Isn't she? And in my apartment, you say?
She let herself in, of course. She's got a key.
Suddenly, everything made sense. My apartment had been bugged. That was how Plantard knew all about my article. How did I know? Because the only cousin I have is a sweet little guy called Jean-Marc, who runs a patisserie in Le
Dinner.
Touquet. These people were determined, which meant they were also very
That's
dangerous.
okay. Food is important.
I suppose she'd forgotten which apartment was mine.
Oh, Miss Collard, you're a mind reader. That's just what she said.
Oh, I bet it was.
I bet it was.
Well, I'd better be going. See what my sweet cousin's been getting up to.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
She bugged my place. Rude. Ooh. Coffee shop. Café. Rougerie. Such a little pretty map of Paris. Alright, so she's bugged
Where
my
had
place,
my
eh?
new cousin hidden her little bug, eh? I was going to have to search everywhere.
Everywhere. Clearly pictures and cameras. Statues.
It was a photo. The first one They hadn't placed the bug on the photo.
Okay, good to know.
You have no messages.
In my teddy bear.
No, I'm not giving up.
My first teddy. Never had a boyfriend as loyal as him. Undisturbed. No bugs there.
Okay, that's good. Usually the phone.
There wasn't anyone that I needed to call.
Okay, well, look.
The phone was the obvious place to look for a bug, but this handset hadn't been opened for years. Besides, they would have just bugged the line.
That's true. Under the desk.
No bug. Just a 20-year-old piece of gum.
Oh, gross. I didn't look at the radio or the
No messages for me. No one had hidden a bug on the machine.
well, that's good. She walks so slowly.
The box was one of the few things my father left me. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's. But that small metal disc underneath it in the chest was a recent addition. The box was carved by... The box was one... The elephant... But that small metal disc underneath it in the chest was a recent addition.
Oh, that one.
Oh, chère cousine. You left me a little present. You shouldn't have.
Yeet out the window.
You don't scare me. Espèce de...
Anything else? No. You'd think like in the camera or something too, right? La chatte noire.
It
Interesting.
was held in place by wires. Maybe it wasn't that after all. Maybe it was a cell phone transmitter.
I would
Maybe.
be obliged if you did not touch the art, mademoiselle.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Can I ask what you're doing?
I am guarding the scene of a terrible and heinous crime.
Yeah,
Heinous.
this statue. Tell me about it.
Au contraire, mademoiselle. This statue is a pure and visionary statement, a comment upon man's self-imposed isolation within a debased societal framework.
Not a crime, then.
The only crime you will find here is the murder of the great Monsieur Cachon.
No. How dramatic.
I know. Here in this very building, no less. It is top secret, but according to Cachon's wife, the killer was dressed as a mime. Police believe there was an accomplice, a young female journalist. Even as we speak, she is being hotly pursued up and down the land. No stone is being left unturned.
Good place to look for a journalist, officer.
We police are no fools.
Evidently. How was Monsieur Cachon killed?
He was shot In cold blood. With a gun.
Why was he dressed as a mime?
I have my own theory. Either he was mad,
Oh,
or he was a real mime, trying to throw us all off the scent by cunningly not wearing a disguise.
how long have you been in the police force?
All my life, mademoiselle.
It shows.
Thank you.
It's not a compliment.
You must be quite an aficionado of modern art.
Au contraire, I adore it. In fact, I dabble myself.
Oh, really? I used to dabble myself, but I managed to quit in the end. Why would a mime kill Monsieur Cachon?
He was a hired killer, I expect. Everybody knows mimes don't leave prints.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
The smashed window hadn't been repaired yet. There was just a sheet of flimsy plastic over it.
So climbed this and got through the
Please do
window.
not finger the wires. They are high-tension titanium-coated wires, especially imported from Birmingham, in England.
This guy was either into art or wire, or both.
If they were to become freed, this superb piece of kinetic engineering would topple and fall. At the same time, the force of the recoil would take your eye out.
Oof. Yeah, don't do that.
Just your average modern art retaining wire.
You had to do it from that
Please
side?
I told you to not touch the art.
You did tell me that. I don't listen though. Anything else at the cafe? Oh, they boarded it up.
Hello, could I ask you some questions?
Oh,
That
sure.
depends. Are you a cop?
Nope.
No, I'm a journalist.
Bit late, aren't you? They already took away the body.
I'm doing a follow-up on this story. Tell me, are you related to the workman I saw digging the hole?
Don't talk to me about flambage. Pah!
Okay.
He just won a fortune on the horses and he won't give me a cent.
Oof.
Well, it's his money.
When he was broke, he was happy to touch me for a loan. Brothers should look after each other,
Brothers.
he used to say. He's changed his tune, now he's brassed up.
You're doing a fine job.
Damn right I am. You should be writing about me, not that idiot that got blown up.
The heroes who pick up the pieces when disaster strikes.
Exactly.
Well, give me your best smile and maybe I'll put your picture in the article.
Oh, right. Just give me a minute to do my hair.
The police had removed the body, but nothing else looked disturbed. Some journalists drink on the job, not me.
Ian, thanks for the follow, bruh. Hi. He's just like brushing it back.
A panel had been blown away, revealing a gap.
Oh,
From
a
this
panel.
angle, I could see that something had been lodged in the gap behind the pipes.
Alright. Then move the table.
Behind the table were some damaged
It's a
pipes.
book.
Voila! The police and forensic teams had missed a vital piece of evidence.
A pouch.
Some kind of pouch.
Police.
On the pouch
Ha!
was the cross symbol of Carchon's organization. I was on the right track.
The cross symbol. It's called the Templars, hun.
There was nothing of interest beyond some bloody debris.
The cheese factory in France exploded. Nothing was left but debris. That's it.
Hey,
Hey.
what about my photos?
Of course. How could I forget?
Of course.
Well, I'm waiting. Get your camera out.
Camera. Oh, I forgot. It broke.
Alors, they should never send a woman to do a man's job.
Yeah.
Well, this woman had
how
fooled
dare
him
you.
easily enough. And found the evidence the police had missed.
It's a good joke.
On the pouch was the cross symbol of Carchon's organization. Inside the pouch were two items. A strange metallic artifact and a letter in some kind of code.
Oh, a letter.
The artifact had a sword laid across scales. The scales of justice. I wondered if
Lady
this connected to
Justice.
the room at the quayside.
Or maybe.
Another coded message using the same cipher system. So, Plantard was involved with Carchon.
I like codes. Codes are fun. Alright. I'm gonna guess that says Pierre again. Ka-chink. This is squiggly. R P Pierre. Where's the sideways T? Where did that go? That thing. Eh, I'm blind. I'm blind. The. Maybe. That. Maybe. That's like an apostrophe, right? So I don't think that's that. It might be she. S. She. Pierre's. That's probably wife then, right? We're talking about his wife. Oh, that's a S. Has to be a A. Dun, 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 dun. Curious and curious. Worries me. Right. That's a M. That's a W. That's a O. Melda? Isn't that Caution's wife. Talking about me. That thing. That letter. That one. Plantard. Pierre killed murderer. Must have followed trail from Arno and that was old mate Yamada, right? Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant.
Plantard. Pierre killed. Murderer must have followed trail from Arno and Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. She worries me. Imelda. So much for Imelda's innocence. Plantard was working for her and for Canchon. But why did Plantard want to meet? Was it a trap? Or maybe he was in too deep and needed me to tell the story, whatever the story was. One thing was clear. It was a story worth killing for.
A story worth killing for. Blah blah blah. Well, she was talking about, hey, that little thing that reckoned metal object looked like something from the quayside, right?
The strange metal artifact had pointed back to the quayside.
Yes.
The slab was too heavy for me to lift.
Oh dear.
A secret.
That's right, I need the squished bullet.
I needed a gap for leverage.
Oh shit, how do we do that again? Hold that thought. Oh. Blinking lights.
A door like that always has something important behind it. I had to find a way to unlock it.
Well, there's a little keyhole there.
That wasn't going to help.
What? Look at
A
it.
slot next to the safe door. All I had to do was find something to fit into it. It was like being back in kindergarten. All I needed now was a shape that would fit the slot.
Like that.
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too. A photograph had been torn up.
More puzzles, yeah!
If I could just arrange the pieces.
Alright, well, always do corners first. The other way.
Oh my god,
It's my
It
dad.
can't be.
Oh no, it's Daddy. Am I missing a piece? No. No, he doesn't go there. Someone else goes there. I am missing a piece. A few pieces. It's a big picture. Alright. I am the blind. Dun, 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 dun. So it doesn't go in there. That goes in there. See, shut. It's half a picture.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father. Papa, oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this.
She wasn't
My
ready for the
father.
feels.
The one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Crachon, while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it.
Oh no.
I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
Why? What can he help with? Oh, here I am. Hello. Let's speak to the nice old lady.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good. It only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it
It's a
only takes
Santa.
a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to. Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see. Because of the dam. The landlord said he'd fix it before winter sets in. He's been
3 years ago.
saying that for
Yes.
3 years.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
I was totally guessing that it was like 3 years ago.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was
such a
successful
classic thing.
photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Oh, rough.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
Have you
Rude.
seen anyone out here watching Mademoiselle Collard's apartment?
Yes, I have. A strange man. Tall and thin as a broomstick. He kept his face hidden, but I saw his eyes peering from evil little slits.
How was he dressed?
A long brown raincoat with an hat.
Or like Humphrey Bogart?
Yes, but he didn't have Bogart's charisma. Besides, this guy looked like he needed a toilet. You never saw Bogart clenching his buttocks like that.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Mademoiselle Collard?
No, miss.
Collard.
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate
Yeah,
them
death flower.
with death.
Yikes. Thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity?
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat. I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know?
Oh, it's
How
good.
does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Should get free cable?
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
Well, that's fucking bleak.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur.
You will. It sticks, mate. Gotta give it a nudge.
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
Gently smash.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George.
This is an interview.
Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers underneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck. Hard work, I'd
Nah,
call it.
it's luck, mate.
What happened?
My editor told me to drop the story. Can you believe it?
But you're not going to do that.
Oh no. I'm going to find out what's behind these killings.
Oh
It
no.
just doesn't add up. It almost feels like some sort of conspiracy. The police in 3 different
What?
countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone.
Not a
Tell me more
conspiracy.
about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell.
Well, how'd you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought me my first camera. I was 8, and my parents had just split up.
Did you live with your father?
Yes. My mother went off with her new boyfriend. I didn't mind. Papa was all I needed.
Oh,
4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
rough.
It's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted me to study art. That's why I went to college.
Died in a plane crash. I'm sure that wasn't suspicious at all.
Did you learn about photography at college?
God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Painted potato ends.
Tell me more
Nom
about
nom.
the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arnaud Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
Penguin!
Snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
I had been
And a
about
mime.
to add mime to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with Cachon.
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death. I found a piece of material near the cafe.
When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George. It's an enlargement I made.
When did she have time to do that?
Look what that guy's wearing.
Oh, nice
Checkered
pants.
The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh, no?
Take a close look at his right cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a
Crescent moon.
moon.
Yeah. Ooh. Want a soggy tissue?
I found this tissue down the sewer.
That's disgusting.
Look at the face!
No, I think what's on it is grease
Ew.
paint, like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
She's disgusted. Mortified.
I found this false nose in the sewer.
Donk. It's a big nose.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Rite du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
Maybe.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
Classic.
I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
That's the police station. Cafe. That's the costume shop, right? Yeah. Oh, there's a bloody death unicorn over here.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, for in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
It's
Not
fun.
that I remember.
Incredible. You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I don't have a
no.
sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
Does anyone else not believe George when he says he never dressed up as a kid? He's American, right? Halloween's a thing? Wait, what?
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Good. Okay, good to
I'm
know.
looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then, I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
Of course there are.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that.
Ah,
Best I
That
must
is sad.
Number
What?
7, white
it's fun to
pancake.
dress up.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Toucan. Toucan Sam.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
That's fair.
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui, he was here this morning. That is the man to whom I sold the grease paint. I remember the scar on his face. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me
Leprechaun?
his name as Monsieur Khan.
Can't, eh?
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Well, okay.
Bzz.
What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny
He's
side
so
of
happy.
electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Wise words. Very wise words. Seamus the pixie. Like, that's a leprechaun, right? They call leprechauns pixies. They are part of the Fae. I'm on his trail, Rougerie. I don't know. Let's go to the police station for now. Dun, 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 dun. See if there's someone to call while we're here. Didn't you say you got his number? Yeah, the tailor.
Hello? Who is this? Hi. My name's George Stobart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Hang up.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Truth and justice. Oh, okay, not the police then. Cool.
Do you know a guy called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you. I never heard of Plantar.
Told you.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know, Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
So you know something about a clown?
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
Todrick's like, do what now? Oh, a new place. They don't look shady at all.
The man looked like an amiable Bigfoot. The guy looked just like a weasel.
I'm a weasel.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello.
Hello.
What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George. George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
I mean...
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Dick.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
Have you come across a man who calls
She
himself Khan?
is
I am familiar
incorrigible.
with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organizes fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. The wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Oof.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Yeah, she's so sassy.
Do you recognize the
But
man in
not
this
the good
photograph?
kind.
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
Ah.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. Do you know, I'd rather like to
That was such a great line. Oh, the writers of this game are on point. It's so good.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantar's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would.
I don't want to shock her. Zap. It would be funny, though. Maybe on the way out.
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life?
You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England, Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
For pants?
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Right.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Whoa.
Now that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there.
Sick burn.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Imperialist dog. Yeah, that's you. Americans, apparently. Gimme key.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Yeah, what?
What? You were trying to steal that key, no?
No, just take it.
Way.
No way.
I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Wow.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so.
I mean, you got this little flower on your shirt.
Do you know a man named Plantow?
No, monsieur.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Ah.
Rats. About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
Yes.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
It's Merlin, isn't it? Alias Khan, the clown.
I told you, I cannot tell you that.
Told you.
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur.
Ah.
I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure. There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
Merlin.
What now, monsieur?
I want the key.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
Why not?
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
Comparable, I'm sure.
I believe Khan, the man with the scar, is also known as Merlin, the man who has taken room 22.
What of it? What do you want?
Access to his room.
Do you have a license, monsieur?
Huh?
A private investigator's license?
Well, not exactly, but I can explain everything.
I am sorry, but without credentials, I cannot help.
Well, you are useless.
I insist you give me the key to Merlin's room.
I cannot do that, monsieur.
This guy Merlin is a menace.
So you say, monsieur.
He's not only a danger to society, but to your guests as well. He has toyed with the affections of Lady Piermont.
Ciel! Are there no depths to which he will not sink?
Precisely. He's already killed once, twice, maybe as many as 3 times. With your help, I just might be able to stop him.
But what if he finds out I have helped you? No, I cannot do it.
No. Oh well, you're useless. Maybe the
Hi, ma'am.
bigot
Hello,
over here.
George. What can I do for you now?
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh no, it's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts honor?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
English arrogance.
I say, you there, flunky.
Oui, madame.
Listen
Flunky.
carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewelry for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Sashay
Over to you,
away.
my dear.
Yeah, right. Who knows? Oh my god. Look at it. It's amazing.
The sign on the door read 21.
And let's...
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
What do you mean it wasn't? It's the key to room 21, you fool. Oh my god.
A cabinet stood beside the bed. The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did.
Because I keep my onions next to my bed. Hoi. Oh, he just happened to leave his window open. How kind of him.
The assassin had been too smart to leave incriminating evidence beside his bed.
There's a suitcase down here. Suitcase.
The closet was a solid, impressive piece of antique furniture.
I'm sure. No, mate. Oh. What are you doing? Are you gonna pick up the pants or what? Oh my god. Son of a...
The closet was a... The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits.
Suitcase, finally.
It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died. I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty.
Bling! Hi, Nairi. It's called Broken Sword. It's a point-and-click adventure game.
I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
It's good fun.
As Khan opened the wardrobe, I was sure I was dead.
You dead, bro. Oh, his
But he
pants.
grabbed his
So
pants
good.
quickly and didn't even see me. I didn't usually spy on men getting changed.
I know your name. Jeez.
But this guy was a killer, and I didn't want any surprises. He left his checkered pants on the bed.
A, it's the same as your Steam. B, it's the same as your Discord name. So... Oh, gross pants, bruh. Oh, look,
A strip
stitch.
along the side seam of the pants had been unpicked, then sewn back up with strong thread and a special stitch. I had that kind of feeling you only get from searching still warm pants. There was nothing in the pocket.
What's that feeling
The pocket
you
was
get?
empty.
But you, I don't want to know.
I flipped the pants over. I found an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. But as I pulled it from the pocket, a strong thread came with it. A thread with a metal tag on the end.
Ooh.
I found nothing in the pocket. I pulled on the metal tag and the thread came out of the pants. It was like pulling out a ripcord. I turned the pants over again. I searched the pocket gingerly and found a pass card. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
I guess that's it. All the things. I have ID now. I'm an
What
electrician.
now, monsieur?
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
Yeah.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that.
I
A
can
murderer?
live with that.
Are you sure?
Positive.
What's this?
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
You're a terrible concierge, aren't you? Let's get some old-fashioned English arrogance.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has a million faces. I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
Oh, I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George!
I'd be bloody scared too.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
Here comes the walk.
You
Yes.
know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
She's a piece of work,
Voilà,
for sure.
monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment.
Touché.
I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
It's probably a smart idea.
I couldn't leave the hotel with the manuscript. It was probably what those thugs were looking for.
Alright. Out the window.
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript.
Throw
but I
it to
couldn't
the
let
floor.
it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Eat that paper. Yeet. Dun, dun, dun.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
He
No
does look like a
problem.
weasel.
If you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Nothing.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
That was the perfect opportunity for the writers to say, "Get your damn dirty paws off me, you ape. Get your paws off me, you damn dirty ape."
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
Couldn't wait.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi. Come in, George.
What are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
That was so accusatory.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I have a telephone and lots of contacts.
What a
Oh,
jerk.
Well, did you find anything useful?
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most useful weapon.
What's that?
Patience.
Oh, I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking?
See, Anstania? Patience.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Not anymore. There was someone. A guy in my final year, but it didn't work out. Neither did my degree.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
You're just not going to believe what I've found.
Look
It's
what
not
I
another
found.
part of the clown's costume, is it?
The sass on her
medieval
face is
manuscript.
great.
Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantar?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Oof.
Look there. Two guys on the same horse.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades.
Of course.
This guy, named Hughes de Payen, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive.
Jeez.
Brutal.
So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after.
Maybe.
Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping.
Tell me more about your family.
When I was a little girl, I used to spend the winter with my grandfather and grandma. They were the best times, warm and safe in their tiny cottage. My grandfather rolled cigarettes while grandma made hot chocolate and cakes. One day, he stopped his rolling. He put the lid back on his tobacco jar and took me in his arms. I laughed and wriggled, but he hushed me to be silent. With his unshaven chin all scratchy in my ear, he told me his secret.
What did he say?
He said, I don't smoke, but she likes to think I do.
What a weird old man.
Don't call my grandfather weird. He was the nicest guy ever. I wish I was back in that cottage instead of this crummy apartment in this noisy city.
Let's take another look at the manuscript. There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod. There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover. It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
A knight with a crystal ball. Now, there's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the wicked queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said, mirror, mirror on the wall, wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid, Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either.
Look there, 2 guys on the same horse. Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
Yes.
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Lobino.
Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Krön Museum. I'll give you the address.
Krön Museum. Alright. Okay.
I have to go.
Look there then.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobino at the Krön Museum.
That's where I'm going. Is it that one? No. Her place. Police station. Museum. Right, Indiana's brilliant. What is it?
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Oui,
Are you
monsieur.
Lobineau?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me for him.
Oh,
No.
yeah, fancy me.
I am the deputy custodian.
But Lobineau does work here.
Work? I wouldn't go so far as to call it that. He studies here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not today.
Oof.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
Sausages.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. Though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... No. They assume I am an authority on the exhibit in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar, not like Monsieur Lobineau.
Walked
Do you
right
recognize
into
the
that
man
one.
in this photograph?
No, monsieur. Is there any reason why I should?
Nope.
I guess not. Thanks for your help.
Attention! Please do not open the window, monsieur.
Don't you think it's kind of stuffy in here?
Better stuffy than dead.
What's the problem? Fumes from car exhausts?
Not just that, monsieur. There's a new burger bar opened up across the street. The Laughing Buffalo.
So what's the problem?
They cook their burgers on a charcoal grill. And the fat falls on the open flame. The amount of organic compound and smoke particles released is astounding. Since they opened, local air pollution has doubled. And it stinks like a funeral pyre. That is why I keep the windows closed.
Okay, that was very... It's a very big explanation.
In the case was a spindly tripod,
Spindly.
blackened with age and pitted with rust. It was identical to the tripod pictured on the manuscript. A notice identified it as 15th century from Western Ireland. It had been found in Lochmarn at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory. Ireland!
What's that?
This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
Ireland! What?
The totem pole looked distinctly out of place in the setting of the museum.
Leave it alone. That closet is over 3,000 years old.
Closet? It's a sarcophagus.
Closet. Oh, man. Oh, can't do anything here yet. Oh, mate, it's not here. Oh, such dramatic music.
Hi, I've been to the Croon Museum.
Did you speak to Lobineau?
He's
No,
gone.
he wasn't there.
He gone.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Can we? Say, like,
There's
I
a
saw
guy
that.
with a sword and a bull. Between them is a...
No, didn't want to say... Okay. Never mind.
a knight. A knight.
Li-
There's a...
Thank you.
I found the tripod.
Where?
In the museum. It belonged to the Templars. It was dug up in Ireland at a place called Lochmarn.
I have heard of Lochmarn. I read an article about the castle. Take a look for yourself.
A popular gossip magazine. You read that rubbish?
No, I write it.
Professor Nigel Pegram.
Whoops.
Excavating the medieval castle at Lochmarn. That's strange.
What?
He resigned his chair at Durham University in order to devote his time to the excavation. Not only that, but he canceled the filming of a fourth series of his popular television program. This site at Lochmarn must be awful important to him.
He's a professor of history. They're all cuckoo.
All the same, I'd like to talk to this Professor Pegram. How do you feel about a trip to Ireland?
Disappointed.
Huh?
But I won't be going. I want to follow up the Bellotta case. If you really think Peakram's dam is important, why don't you visit Lochmarn?
On my own? I'm not so sure about that. Where is Ireland exactly?
It's south of Mexico, mate.
Have you found out any more about the murders?
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clan's victims visited Paris earlier this year.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it was coincidence.
I have to go.
Okay,
Have to
I'll
go.
see you later.
Bye. Big arrow to the aeroport. Oh. Ireland.
I passed the castle on the way into Lochmarn. The castle where Peagram's excavation was located.
Seamus the Pixie.
I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside.
Hey, kid.
Hi there.
What?
What's your name, kid?
Who are you calling kid? Who the hell are you?
I'm George Stobart, and I'm with the good guys.
You're a head case, mister. A few sandwiches short of a picnic.
Cut the crap and tell me your name.
Liam McGuire.
What are you doing hanging around the bar, McGuire?
I'm on the run from me dad.
Why? Did you do something bad?
I ain't done nothing, boss.
You can tell me, kid. Is it your dad?
Oh, sir. He drinks every last penny down his evil throat. And there's me poor old mother, bedridden and dying of presumption. I tried to buy her medicine. Chopped firewood for Father Mahoney till me fingers bled. The old skinflint cheated me too. But I took the pennies he gave me back home. Look, Ma, says I, see what your darling son has earned with his own sweat and blood. When suddenly, me dad appears and grabs the loot. I'm off to Dublin, heavy drinking, says he. Watch out till I get back. That's why I runned away.
Something in the grin on his face told me he wasn't being strictly truthful. Compared to him, Huckleberry Finn was a candidate for Altar Boy of the Year. What can you tell me about the castle, McGuire?
What do you want to know?
Well, can I get inside?
No, it's locked up.
Does anyone live there?
No. Only, what do you want to know? Oh, nothing.
You know something about the castle you're not telling me, don't you?
No.
What is it you're covering up? Is it something you're scared of?
I ain't scared of nothing.
I'll give you one last chance to tell me about the castle.
Oh, yeah? And what if I don't?
Then I'm taking you back to school.
Oh, there's a ghost. It's called the Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh.
You're not telling me you believe in ghosts, are you?
Mister, I seen it with me very own eyes. Last Tuesday night, I went up to see what that dig was about. I just reached the top of the wall when I hears this awful noise.
What sort of noise?
A horrible snuffling and snorting, like O'Brien's pig, only worst. It was coming from inside the castle.
Did you find out what was making the noise in the castle?
No fear. I just sat there on the wall like Humpty Dumpty. The moon was cracked and greasy like an old dinner plate. The yard was full of shadows. I could have been hiding anything. I would have gone home, but my legs had lost their stuffing.
Did you get to see the ghost?
Indeed I did. And a fearsome sight
Legs
it
have
is
lost
too.
their stuffing.
I sat on my ass, waited while the moon went down. Then out it comes from the shadows, all grey and tattered and hunched over like an old bent willow. Then I hears this spluttering and splashing and horrible laughter in the dark. I was so scared. Why, I fell off the bloody wall.
I'm sure there's a rational explanation for what you saw at the castle.
There is. The bloody place is haunted.
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
Here in Lochmarn? They all dress like clowns.
The man I'm looking for is a dangerous psychotic.
Jesus. It's just like that film I saw. There's this clown, see? And he's after this kid who saw him kill a guy. He tries to warn the sheriff, only no one believes him. Then, while he's in the tub, the clown cuts him up with a chainsaw.
My God, that doesn't sound suitable for a kid like you.
Who are you calling a kid? I'm 25.
Yeah, right. You're not a day over 14.
Oh no, it's 25 that I am. Married with a car and 3 kids. 10 kids if you count the wives.
Do you know a man called Pegram?
Can you describe him like on the telly in the cop shows?
He's an English archaeologist.
I know the man you mean, it's
Right.
the one.
Can you tell me where I'd find Pegram?
No, I can't, because he's not here
I'm
now. But if
25.
I sees him, I'll ask him.
Do you know what Pegram was doing in the castle?
Digging for buried treasure. Jewels and gold and skeletons, like in the films.
Films. Has this
Have you
dude
ever
been
seen
around?
this man before?
What a slimy character. No, I never seed him.
Good. That's good news. Thanks.
Give me your hand.
Get lost.
Oh, come on. I just want to show you a little trick.
No way, mister. I don't do tricks. Father Mahoney told me I'd burn in hell if I did.
I just want to shake your hand, that's all.
No way.
Father Mahoney.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Oh man. What a little shit.
My name's George.
Pleased to meet you, mister. My name's Fitzgerald.
What can you tell me about the castle?
There's nothing there. Just an old ruin.
How old?
I really couldn't tell you.
Have you ever explored the castle yourself?
I used to play there sometimes, when I was a kid. Then one of the little uns fell off the wall and broke his head and died. We didn't go there anymore.
You haven't been up there recently?
No.
Oh, bless you. Jeez, that's a sneeze.
Do you know Professor Pegram?
He's the archaeologist, isn't he?
That's right. Did you work at Professor Pegram's dig?
What gave you that idea?
Can I get you another drink?
Oh, no, thank you. I shouldn't be drinking at all. I'm on tablets for my nerves. More than a pint and I'll pass out.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I'm sure I don't know him.
How, fix his
Shake my
nerves?
hand.
It's a trick, isn't it?
Damn it, you're right. I can't seem to fool anyone. See you later.
Can't seem to fool anyone. Let's chat with everybody in the bar.
Hi, my name's Stobart. George Stobart.
Hello there, mister. What can I do for you?
What can I do for you?
Do you know Professor Pegram?
Do I know him? Do I know the good professor himself? No, I don't. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know him to talk to.
Do you know anything about Pegram's excavation?
Only that he didn't have the right tools for the job. What he needed was shovels and a JCB.
Pegram was digging for historical remains, not coal.
Is that a fact? What the hell for?
It's the science of archaeology, Pat. Understanding how people used to live by what they've left behind. One day archaeologists might be digging up our remains.
Imagine that, Mr. O'Brien. I wonder what they'll find.
Well, it won't be arrowheads and beakers. Fast food cartons and flavored condoms, more likely.
Did anyone from the village work at Pegram's dig?
I tried it myself, but that high and mighty history man called me incontinent. What a
Incompetent?
nerve. Hadn't I dug more holes than the rest of them put together?
Do you remember seeing Sean Fitzgerald at the dig?
Let me see now. I think me brain box needs a spot of lubrication.
Of course.
Can you tell me anything about the castle on the hill?
Oh, I don't know much about anything. You should ask Mr. O'Brien here. He does joined up writing. Would you be one of them history fellas yourself?
Joined up writing.
That's right. Professor Stobart, Miskatonic University.
You're an archaeologist, and you're asking us about the castle.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien. The gentleman was talking to me. How come you didn't leave with the others?
I didn't know they'd gone.
Oh, yes. Packed their spades and shovels and away they went.
Seems I missed all the excitement.
What excitement?
Can I buy you a drink?
You most certainly can.
Give me a drink for my friend here.
Who? Doyle? Has he conned you into buying for him? Shame on you, Patrick.
Same again.
Just a point this time, Michael.
1 point of brown coming up.
Do you remember Sean Fitzgerald now?
I can picture the scene as if it was only last week. Come to think of it, it was only last week. Fitzgerald was there all right. Him and a bunch of students. He was speaking with the boss man.
The boss man.
May I shake your hand?
No, you can't.
Well, how come?
Because I'll spill me beer if you do.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
It's a handsome mug on that fella, to be sure. Is he a film star?
Bye for now.
Film. Is he a film star?
Hello there. My name's George Stobart.
Pleased to meet you, I'm sure. I'm O'Brien. Can I help you?
I'm sure.
Do you know Sean Fitzgerald?
Yes, I do. What do you want with him?
I want to talk to him about working at the dig.
I can't imagine anyone employing Sean Fitzgerald on a dig. He wouldn't know a post hole from his elbow.
Have you heard of the Phantom?
More than that. I've seen it. And let me tell you, it's a dreadful spectacle.
So it's not just a local legend. There really is a Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh no, I was talking about the Phantom of the Opera.
It's a good show.
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar?
I most certainly have. A remarkable institution. Did you know? They were the originators of our system of credit. Their financial empire stretched from the Atlantic to the Caspian Sea. With bases in so many countries, they had to establish new methods of fiscal transfer.
So, the Knights Templar were nothing but a bunch of bankers.
I don't get it. Are you saying these Templar guys invented bank charges?
In a manner of speaking, I suppose they did.
Jerks.
What a dirty trick. Didn't anyone try to stop them?
Oh yes, they were arrested and many were burnt at the stake.
Good. They bloody well deserved it if they were anything like my bank manager.
Drunk Irishman. Yes.
What can you tell me about the castle, Mr. O'Brien?
It's a fine sight now, isn't it? Dates back to the 10th century, you know. Most of the existing building was added much later, of course.
Are the ruins open to the public?
Oh no, it's much too dangerous. Anyway, there's nothing of interest remaining.
How can I get into the castle?
Well, those walls were built specifically to stop people getting in, Mr. Stobart. But I dare say you'll find a way, if you've the will.
Can you tell me about the tripod which was found at the castle?
Now, there's a bone of contention and controversy. It was dug up by an Englishman of the archaeological persuasion.
Who was this Englishman?
Professor Pegram, the same man who dug up the gem.
Gem as well, eh?
Do you know where I can find Pegram?
You're too late to meet that fella.
Is he dead?
Not that, but he's gone from the village. A sore point with our esteemed host, I might add.
Do you know where Pegram has gone?
I'm sorry, but I don't. He upped anchor in the dark and shipped out before the dawn.
Why did he do that?
Who knows? A guilty conscience or a secret assignation. Whatever the reason, he'll not be missed in Lochmarn. Maybe now the fuss about the gem has died down, we can get back to normal.
Why has Pegram's departure upset the landlord?
He's lost a paying guest, that's why. More than that, there's the question of an unsettled bid. Poor Michael's seen red over the business, and I don't blame him.
Can you tell me more about the landlord?
Mick Leary?
Didn't pay his bill.
What you call a would-be sophisticated. The trouble is, his idea of sophistication extends as far as putting paper in the lavatory.
I never worked out why he did that. It's much too dark in there to read.
That's true. Have you ever run your hand over the back of the door? The graffiti is written in Braille.
What can you tell me
good.
about the gem which Pegram found?
Now there's a gem which should never have been taken. A man would have to be full of greed to covet that stone. What's your interest in the jewel? You're not a reporter, are you?
Oh no.
Oh no.
God for that.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Mr. O'Brien.
Oh, no you don't.
Oh no, you. Damn.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Nope. I've never seen him before.
Alright then.
Bye for now.
He wasn't listening. Top of the morning to you.
I beg your pardon.
Well, that's what you Irish say, isn't it?
Do you want something? Or are you just flaunting your xenophobia?
Well,
Yeah.
I was trying to be sociable.
You're a jack.
Is it a room you're after?
I mean, why
That's
not?
not a bad idea. Do you have a vacancy?
I could, if you don't mind waiting until the last guest checks out.
No problem. When will that be?
When the Undertaker comes to collect him.
Jesus.
Have you served any, clowns recently?
No, you're the first today.
Do you know a man called Pegram?
Indeed I do. Are you a friend of his, by any chance?
Oh, no. I'm just trying to track him down.
Me too. That son of a bitch should be locked away.
Did Pegram stay here?
Yes, he did. 6 nights plus breakfast.
I'll try a glass of beer, please.
Is this your first pint of real ale?
Well, I guess so. What's real ale, anyhow?
Beer that's brewed from natural ingredients to traditional methods. It shouldn't be kept under pressure or refrigerated. And finally, it should have a good body and distinctive character.
In other words, it's flat and warm with bits in, and it makes you fall over.
Skull that. Jeez.
Do you recognize this man?
No, I don't. What do you want with him?
I've got a score to settle.
I don't want any trouble in the bar, mister. If it's a fight you're looking for, see Father Mahoney.
A priest? A man of the cloth?
Sure. And he teaches the boys how to box at the youth club. According to Mahoney, it develops character. Isn't that right, Pat? Didn't he teach you the art of pugilism? Doyle.
Sorry, Michael. I was miles away. What did you say?
Ah, never mind.
Oh, so
I
good.
gotta be going.
Doyle! What?
Hi there, old timer.
What?
What? Oh, jeez, mate.
Nasty cold you've got there. As soon as the words left my lips, I regretted them.
Is there such a thing as a cold which isn't nasty? I put the question to Father Mahoney. Father, says I, why were we born to suffer snot?
What did he say?
He said, it's my reward for being out all night like a sinner. Pious prig. Anyway, this is no ordinary cold. 'Tis the hay fever.
Pollinosis?
Thank you. You're not a policeman, are you?
Excuse me?
Police? No. I'd know it if you were.
Can I buy you a beer?
Very kind, I'm sure. But I don't drink the stuff Leary sells.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen what it can do.
Can you tell me how to get into the castle?
Don't even think about it, me bucko. Lochbarn Castle is haunted.
There's the
That's what the
haunted.
kid outside told me, but I don't believe it.
Then you're a fool.
Ghosts don't bother me. I still want to visit that castle.
You can't. It's not open to the public.
There's no one around to stop me, is there?
That's right. Nothing human, anyhow.
Have you ever seen the ghost?
To be sure. With me very own eyes.
Ooh.
Can you describe the ghost?
It was horrible. A wee stunted beast. Long beak. Straggly, flappy wings.
Are you sure it wasn't a wild animal? A rabbit or a skunk or something?
Skunk? In Lochbarn? That'll be the day. No, that was a ghost, to be sure.
To be sure.
I think I know what you saw on the castle wall.
I know what I saw.
I don't think so. It was the kid, McGuire.
What?
He was up on the wall last Tuesday night. He thought you were the Phantom of Lochmar.
Oh,
Do you know Pegram, the archaeologist?
that's the scrawny fellow who was poking around at the castle, isn't it? No, I don't know him.
What's that you're making?
It's a necklace, me bucko.
Oh, sure.
Me
Made out
bucko.
of steel wire?
That's right. A necklace for my pretty one. When my little lover feels it round her slender neck, she'll be mine. All mine.
Saga.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
I can't tell without my glasses.
Hey, would you like to shake my... no, on second thought, forget it.
Forget it.
I'll see you later.
What's that? Oh, I'm in the bar.
It was a beer-stained piece of toweling.
Glitchy. Can I go behind the bar?
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Down.
Excuse me?
No customers behind the bar. Ever.
No. Steal his wire while he sneezes. Sneeze, bruh. Oh, steal it.
The guy sat in the corner as if he was a permanent fixture.
Probably
I've
is.
been taught not to judge people by their appearance or their clothes or the length of their hair. Nobody ever said anything about runny noses.
Yoink.
As soon as the old guy looked away, I grabbed this piece of wire.
It's like, hey, that's my stole my shit.
Mr. Fitzgerald? Doyle told me you definitely worked at the dig. He's seen you there. You might as well admit it.
I knew this would happen. I knew I'd get caught.
I need to talk to Professor Pegram, if he's still alive.
What do you mean? Is he in danger?
Yeah, you too, if I'm right.
You're not from the Social Security.
Hell no. What makes you think that?
Well, I was claiming benefits at the same time I was working for Pegram.
I'm not in a position to make judgments, Sean. That's
Fraudster.
between you and your conscience. All I want is to talk to Pegram about the gem.
But he's not here.
I know that. But he left that package with you, didn't he? So where did Pegram go?
I don't know. I swear it. He came to see me early this morning. Said he was leaving. He asked me to give this package to a guy called Marquet.
Show me what's in the package, Sean.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I promised the professor.
So what? You didn't have any qualms about your benefit scam. So where's the harm in taking a peek inside Pegram's package?
You don't know these people. I can't. I don't dare.
This is your last chance to show me the package, Fitzgerald. I've been patient with you, but now it's time to kick ass.
But he'll kill me.
Who will?
The man from Paris. Jack Marquet. Pegram told me if I gave him the package unopened, I'd hear no more about it. But if I double-crossed Marquet, I'd be dead.
I'll deal with Jacques Marquet. Give the package to me.
No. Why should I trust you? I don't know who to trust anymore. I wish I'd never even heard of the Lochmarn gem. Hey, I just seen a big red.
Get out of here, Maguire. Come back when you're old enough.
What's the lad howling about?
A big red sports car. Sean Fitzgerald's been runned over.
Get out! Noisy little tyke.
Maybe you should send out some medicinal brandy maker.
Oh, yes. And who's going to pay for it?
Not me.
Me too, neither.
Care our mate's been run over.
I was telling the truth about Fitzy, mister.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here, minding my own business, when I saw this beautiful red sports car coming up over the hill. Would you look at that, says I, and I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass, but the car just flies at him. It was too fast for poor old Fitzy, and hit him an awful wallop. He goes flying up on top. Jesus, says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out, and I couldn't believe my eyes.
dressed like a bloody pixie.
He's dressed like a bloody pixie.
Hey, McGuire.
What?
Did this pixie have a scar on his cheek?
I couldn't see. He was wearing a stupid mask. Are you a special agent?
Sorry to disappoint you, kid, but I'm not. Did Fitzgerald drop anything when he was hit?
I didn't see. It all happened so fast.
Maybe the package fell somewhere out of sight. What do you make of this, kid?
Hey, that's one of Leary's towels. He'll skin you alive.
That old windbag doesn't scare me. Anyhow, I'm only borrowing it.
You're pretty cool, mister. For an old guy.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand.
Whoops.
The plastic cover had been smashed and broken away, revealing a switch. It was a trap door in the sidewalk. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
May I have another beer, please?
Certainly, sir. Same again?
Yeah, please. How is this stuff made?
That's the secret of the master brewer, sir. Each barrel is lovingly manhandled in time-honored fashion, suspended on skillfully tied ropes of the finest hemp, lowered into the cellar, utilizing the forces of original gravity, like manna from heaven. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my dear, is it?
It just broke.
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
I'm an electrician.
Well, no. Isn't that marvelous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer.
Sure.
When you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
It was an electric glass washer. It looked even older than the barman. I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring.
Must be.
It was an electrical plug. I used all my knowledge of
Bit of wire.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire.
Fuse in the plug.
I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half-pint to that man on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
Lever.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
All right then. Wrong lever.
I lifted the trap door and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round? I prayed McGuire
Light
had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
The old creepy thank you. Back down the cellar. Now that we got some light.
Now I could see.
Oh, look,
I
a gem.
spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trapdoor. It was Peagram's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire, I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way, you're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Yum. Chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Chap eyes. Nom nom. Is there anything in it? Oh. Drip, drip, drip.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Just cause? Nothing else? Alright.
I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
Tap's broken, buddy. Let's get this way. Hey, buddy.
Hi, do you speak English?
Well, no. What if I was to say no? An implication of cognizance shrouded in denial. A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice.
Goes to somewhere in the UK. Hey, do you speak English?
What can you tell me about the castle?
Not much, I'm sorry to say. Most of its history is long forgotten. But if these old stones could only speak, what stories they'd tell. Stories to make your toes curl and your blood run cold. You know, this castle is said to be over 600 years old.
Have you seen Professor Pegram?
No, he's packed up and gone.
Do you happen to know where?
Back in England, I suppose. I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah. He knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
Rough.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh, no. But he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
I agree.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle. His own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma.
Some
Stay
idiot.
here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvelous. I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
Silly enough to climb it.
He strode off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay.
Let's be an idiot and climb it.
The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland. There was a narrow crack between two of the stones where the centuries-old mortar had crumbled away.
Crumble, crumble. Can we break it some more?
I inserted the end of the lifting key in the mortarless crack and gave it a firm shove. It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step. I tugged at the lifting key and found it was held quite securely.
Well, that's great. Angry goat.
It was a rusted piece.
Can pick it up.
The rope by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
Oh, angry goat. Yellow. Pick up all the things.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Oh, cute.
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand.
All right then.
As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand. I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
Got any water? Don't got any water.
There was a pattern of 5 holes arranged on the wall. They'd been drilled there deliberately.
Deliberately.
The sack contained a fine white powder.
Oh. Water. The tap in the cellar is water.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed.
Anything to collect it? No. It's a towel, right? Towel.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water. I shut off the faucet as tight as I could.
I love his commentary. Is it still wet?
It was a rectangle of toweling, printed with the words, "The towel was soaked through."
Good. Oh, look. Black water.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Excellent.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
Silence. Dun, dun, dun. Haha. And we'll leave it with Nico again. It's been 2 hours. And I need sleep for work tonight. Nico, come say bye. Bye-bye. No, thank you for coming. It was lovely. I shall sleep very well. Huzzah. Alright. Thanks for stopping by, lovely people. I will let you know when part 3 is live.